While tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, in the wilderness near Mount Horeb, also known as the Mountain of God, he notices an extraordinary phenomenon: a bush engulfed in flames, but not consumed. Curious, Moses decides to investigate. From within the burning bush, God calls out to him, "Moses, Moses," to which he responds, "Here I am." God instructs Moses to remove his sandals, for he stands on holy ground and reveals himself as the God of his fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Moses hides his face, afraid to look at God. God shares his concern for the suffering of the Israelites in Egypt and his plan to deliver them to a land flowing with milk and honey. He appoints Moses as the leader to bring this vision to pass, to confront Pharaoh, and to lead his people out of Egypt. Moses, overwhelmed by doubt and insecurity, questions his ability to carry out this monumental task. "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" he asks. Moses, concerned that the Israelites will not believe him or listen to him, asks God for his name. God responds with, "I am who I am." God further commands Moses to gather the elders of Israel and tell them of God's promise to deliver them from their misery in Egypt and bring them to the promised land. Moses, accompanied by his brother Aaron, goes before Pharaoh to deliver God's command. Pharaoh refuses, not recognizing the Lord, and instead increases the Israelites' burdens. In response to Pharaoh's refusal, God sends 10 plagues upon Egypt: Nile to blood, swarms of frogs, gnats, flies, the death of livestock, boils, hail, locusts, darkness. Before the last plague, God instructs the Israelites to mark their doorposts with the blood of a lamb and eat a special meal in haste: the Passover. That night, the Lord passes over the houses marked with blood, sparing the Israelites from the death of the firstborn. Pharaoh, struck by the loss, finally commands Moses and Aaron to take the Israelites and leave Egypt. The Israelites leave Egypt, taking with them possessions and wealth. God leads them by a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, away from the route past the Philistine territory, though it was shorter, to avoid war. Pharaoh, regretting his decision to let the Israelites go, sent his army to recapture them. The Israelites found themselves trapped, with Pharaoh's forces approaching from behind and the Red Sea blocking their path forward. In this moment of dire need, Moses demonstrated his faith in God, stretched out his hand over the sea, and God then miraculously parted the Red Sea, creating a path of dry land through the middle, with walls of water on both sides. The Israelites passed through the sea on dry ground, escaping the imminent threat of Pharaoh's army. However, when Pharaoh's army attempted to follow them through the sea, God instructed Moses to stretch out his hand over the sea again. Once Moses did so, the waters came back together, engulfing Pharaoh's forces and saving the Israelites from recapture. After crossing the Red Sea, the Israelites journey through the wilderness to Mount Sinai. Along the way, they face challenges such as scarcity of food and water, but God provides for them, sending manna from heaven and bringing water from a rock. These lessons from the story of Moses, as recounted in the book of Exodus, the burning bush, and the Israelites' escape from Egypt, continue to inspire and teach values of faith, leadership, obedience, persistence, and the importance of community and freedom.